He only needed one name, the Carver, like the wind, or the lightning, or the dawn. With his presence, a new age began. The kings of the south stood. They were the lords of the desert sea.
Greetings! What, you surely ask, is such a well-heeled Praetorian doing here among the dust and brambles? Removing the tarnish from my name and solving the Jotun problem. I am, you see, ranked Decanus. That is above Auxiliary, where I serve my time, and beneath Centurion, which is where I belong. Grand to behold, but lousy with Jotun and spiders and gods know what else. Makes me think the Warsworn put their blasted keep here out of sheer bloody spite. Overlooked. Ignored. Once I've settled this Jotun problem, my Praetorian friends will be humming a different tune. Their keep is hard to miss. It sits on Menethir like an Ecton on a pile of bones. The old Ragnar has died, and his successor is stirring the embers of war. But he's too clever to openly provoke the Warsworn, so he's attacking gnomes instead. That will not stand. I have a plan to settle this, but it requires someone of both delicacy and grit. Priest, apothecary, and spiritual guide to Jotun kind. The old Ragnar ruled all the Jotun in these heights and the mountains beyond. If this upstart stirs all of them to war, things could go badly for everyone. The Warsworn have their place in my plan, but not yet. Coaxing the Ragnar to show his face requires a subtlety that our local Castellan lacks. Yes, I think you do. First, we must find some new and better enemies for the Jotun. Go into Tyrscotter Mine, southeast of here, and steal the clan totem from the kobolds that dwell there. Then return to me. There's a good deal to be said about them. None of it nice. You hear tales now and then of Jotun guards and Jotun soldiers. I'll believe that when I see it. Brutes! To reclaim it, the kobolds will fight to the death, and as for the Jotun, well, one thing at a time. Tyrscotter Mine is full of the little filchers. If you ask me, they're worse than the Jotun.
You are expected. This is Ironfast, Warsworn. Here, you will find dust on our helms and scores on our blades. We believe in action above finery and show. If you seek work, supplies, or shelter, they are yours. Gwyn's been here for several days, nearly turned our library upside down. I hope she found what she needed there. It is a hard, harsh country, well suited to the life of the Warsworn. This is the Detir Bastion of the Warsworn, and I am its Castellan. The Warsworn have been many things. The tale is told on the walls and the tomes in this very keep. What we have always been are bold, unflinching fighters. You need not be Warsworn to take contracts. The board is in the south wing. Ask Adrith about it if you like. We have a blacksmith and quartermaster. Both are in the south wing, that way.
The heights of Menetier, I think.
They rush about as if their destinies did not stretch out before them, clear and immutable. Poor fools. I have come here, for it is here I was to come. How could I do otherwise? I see fate's ends too clearly to resist. Some are trained in weaving fate. It is a knack that revealed itself to me at an early age. My parents were delighted at first, then horrified, as I had foreseen. It is said my attunement to fate is especially keen. I can see the paths of everyone I cross, stretching before them, but not yours.
What have you got for old Fargil the healer today? A nice spider bite? A punctured lung, perhaps? You couldn't find a better corner of Amalur to practice the art. More poisonous and dangerous things out there than you could imagine. Though I will admit, Cluricon may have us beat for disease. How I would love to visit. The diseases they have there. Perhaps one day it will be safe enough to go. It's wonderful here. They come to me with the most remarkable ailments. Beautiful creatures. They're nature's alchemists. Make poisons, silk, miasmas, you name it. I trained under the luminaries of Odessa, but I have always found fascination in a live specimen of the medical arts. Have you ever been? It's some leagues to the east. A marvelous city. One of, well, mental giants, if you will. So long.
The heights of Menetier, Shield brother?
We're honored by your presence, Oathblade. Welcome. This may be the hardest post outside of Melsenshire. I can't remember the last time we glimpsed the outside world. Might as well be in prison. It's a far-off concern to us in Ironfast. The Tuatha must be stopped. The only question is, how much is needed to stop them? I'll fight if it comes to that. I'm new to the Warsworn, but they say I have Lyanna's spirit. She was the first Impester. A champion of sorts, I think.
We see few enough strangers in Ironfast.
Now who's this? I've grown so used to the same few drifters coming in for supplies and the contract board. A fresh face is a welcome thing. We're proud to stand where we do, here among the wilds. First keep and last bastion, the Castellan likes to say. That's Oda. She's a good sort, though not a woman of words. Other keeps get their work here and there, high and low. As for us, ever since Odessa was built, we've had one solemn task. Watch the Jotun. Hold them back, hold them south and west of Gnomish lands. Anything you need's found in the smithy. You've got Heki for most things and Gavroche for blacksmithing. I'll be honest, he's not much of a blacksmith, but he's all we've got at the moment. Poor little lad. The quartermaster to our keep. She stocks all we need to get by out here. I'm the curate of this keep. If you've a contract to turn in, bring it to me. It's right beside me. The work's open to any and all. When a contract's done, they come to me for their pay. Sworn to war. Me, I'm rarely outside. Always things to be done about the keep. Oh, you want that contract, do you? Now you guard these ghastly things closely. Mind you, they're not suited for combat. They're for surgery and unnaturally sharp. Dead? Why, that's a shame. I'd say I'm sure he'll be missed. But he's from Whitestone, so you never know. And that's his walking staff there. I'll take that. Job well done. Oh yes, well you'll need to collect the required number of spider stingers from spiders in Menethir. You won't have much trouble finding them, they're all over, which frankly is exactly the problem. Sworn to war.
My poor old master had but one dying wish, that his prize blade, the one on the wall, be mended. Some days I dream that I'll do it myself. Then I remember, I'm a poor untrained apprentice who can barely forge a soup spoon. Well, don't expect anything remarkable, or even decent. Show me what's broken, and I'll see what I can do. Which isn't much. Master Braskin took me in, being an orphan and found by the Warsworn and all. He let me live here, began to train me in the craft. Been good to me since the day they found me, tucked in among stolen sacks of grain. Master Braskin, yes. I'd endure every drunken lashing anew if it meant I could learn blacksmithing right and proper. Why, that's Haldabeer's blade. It's famous, from the Fey Wars. My old master always said he'd fix it right again. Might have, if he'd lived. Now it just hangs on the wall, taunting me, reminding me of all I'm not. In battle, oh, it's a wondrous tale of how Haldabeer slew his foe. I'd tell, but I don't think I could do it justice. Repair the sword? Not likely. There's one man living who can, and he'd rather eat nettles and stare at the sky than raise hammer to anvil. You can find the Hermit Smith yourself, up in the Menethir Heights. But don't expect much. A hero's sword. Like its owner, it fought and died in glory on the battlefield. Just as I'll die miserably behind this forge. Dinwell's his name. Word has it he grew bitter of all mortal kind at the start of the war. But I wouldn't know. I've never talked to him. Mind you, I said he could mend that blade. I never said he would. But if you think you can just alter fate, seek him in the Menethir Heights, due south and west of here.
I'm quartermaster here. Tell me what you need and I'll see what I can do. That's me. I'll sell you what you need, and if you need a blacksmith, well, what we've got for one's over there. The old blacksmith died 3 moons ago. Gavroche is... that boy's barely trained. What do you expect? It's a hard, dangerous place. Jotun above, spiders, thieves, and kobolds down below. They're the newcomers to this land. They crawled up through the ground from who knows what deep caverns. They've always lived in the heights of Menethir, and we have always watched them, weapons at the ready, and held them back when we must. If there's fight in your veins and steel in your bones, you're warsworn. If you die before you break an oath, you're warsworn.
Shield brother.
Sworn to war? Of Menethir are thick with you.
Good day, Warsworn. Would a sagecrafter's services be of interest? I've been here enough to see he's not long for Ironfast. The Warsworn are too kind to say so, even to strangers, but a keep needs a proper blacksmith. Warsworn let me stop here in my wanderings in exchange for my service. Good folk, if a bit rough-hewn, and no place feels safer. Odessa raised, Basilica Nostra trained, and worldly wise, fully versed in the ways of gems and sockets. I've got my certificate here with my things. I might have stayed and taught, but my spirit's more the wandering sort. So much art and science to the fitting of a gem. Harmonies, geometries, fine acts of dexterity. A great city, if ever there was one. A monument to science and industry. Come again!
You have the remains of the hammer. It is... I should have expected this. It was forged in the Hall of the First Sworn. It must, I think, be reforged there. The hall is not far, only... I don't know what to do when we get there. The hall lies south through the canyons. Meet me there. He has gone to free the Nискaro Lord. Pray we are not too far behind to stop him. Not all our wisdom was left to gather dust on Eamon's Isle. I have learned the location of the Nискaro Lord's mountain prison. But first, we must deal with that hammer. That means the Hall of the First Sworn. I haven't been here since I was young. It is as full of old books and dusty scrolls as I remember. They are powerful beyond anything you could imagine. This one was called Kamazandu, the Deceitful One. The text claimed the Arathi themselves imprisoned him in the mountain after he proved too clever to kill. We need it restored if we hope to defeat Beeson, and for that, I'm afraid, we must journey to the Hall of the First Sworn. Legend tells it is there that Eamon was transformed from a prince to the first of the Warsworn. It became a meeting place of sorts in the time of the First Sworn. Yes, Time is short. The Hall of the First Sworn is south and east through the canyons. Meet me there when you are ready.
Dust dense.
Don't wander the wastes unprepared.
Shield brother. We're fighters here, not toy soldiers.
First, he made the river in the arc of the great snake-tail. When that grew tedious, he turned his attention to the cliffs, the dunes, the depths.
Prince of Spring raised his sword toward the breaking dawn, and he called down the glory of the newborn morning. Issa bequeathed to the land the talisman of fate. With its power, the earth rose to defend the birthplace of light, our cradle of summer. So the great cycle swathed Own of the Thulian dusk in the arcane veil, and Issa planted the gardens after the storm, and nurtured the court of summer by the ruins of fire.
The carver made by the morning what takes the cycles centuries to shape. He bored holes in the red marches and chiseled the spine in the Ulcerund. Echoes rang through the canyons of Menethir. He gouged the hollow lands and then left it barren.
Ah, you have the totem? Good. We've made some enemies, so now we must make the feeling mutual. Kill 3 Jotun chieftains known as the Ragnar's Chosen. Their deaths will enrage the Ragnar like nothing else. After killing each of the Chosen, plant one of these kobold daggers in his chest. That should do the trick. They'll be up among the Jotun on the heights, spreading their Ragnar's word. Remember, after you've killed each, plant a kobold dagger in his chest. That's essential. Look! It begins!
Shield brother?
Come for the contract board? Ah, with the Jotun and the kobolds, we just haven't had time to burn them out. Fine work you've done. So long.
We're fighters here.
What do you need? Don't wander the wastes unprepared.
Oathblade.
Finally, the carver rested. He grew a mountain crowned with clouds by the river, and leaned against its side to sleep. Ages passed, and the sand settled into his work, and all the land was still.
I'm sorry for the way I left Ironfast. The last time I saw my mother was the day she set off for these ruins. She came here and never returned. I thought maybe... But we must be going. Records speak of a sacred passage that leads to the forge. I owe you an explanation, don't I? When I was young, my father touched the hilt of a chaos-cursed dagger. The magic within it disfigured and diseased him. My mother spent her life delving into war-sworn past in search of a cure. She searched everywhere, until she came here. Thank you for listening. It's said that the way from the sacred passage to the forge opened only for Eamon, and at its end, he learned the secrets of the First Sworn. It's also said to have closed and sealed the day that he died. They say he came to this place a prince, and left it sworn to war. How he entered the passage, what he learned there, none but he know. Yes, to reach the ancient forge, you must go through a sacred passage. Of course, I can't be certain. No one but Eamon himself has ever walked those halls. Lead on, Oathblade. There you are. She was so close. Look, that must be the sacred passage there. All right, let's do this. There's no hope. We've come all this way. For what? You and I are not Eamon. How can we ever hope to pass through that? Yes, but it can't be done. Try for yourself. Ancient magic bars the way.
Only those foreseen may enter here. Fate bars this path, and none may alter fate.
Did you open that door? I came too and it was sealed shut and... What happened back there?
Approach, mortal. The hammer must be remade. The hammer. To the forge. You will know the way. The wisdom is within you.
Look at it, how it shines. This is a weapon of legend. Held in Aegon's hands, it felled Nискara by the score. But now we have our own legends to make. The Nискara Lord Kamazondu is imprisoned in Cloudcrest Mountain, in the Hollowlands. As Beeson weaves his spell, something called the Niskaru Lord's Crown will emerge. Are you listening? It is not truly a crown, but emanations of the Niskaru Lord itself, as it emerges from the mountain. It cannot escape all at once, so if we can injure these first projections with the Mystic Hammer, we can close the door Beeson seeks to open. Cloudcrest Mountain looks over the southern Hollowlands, west of here. I will go to Ironfast Keep for reinforcements and meet you there. The first emanations of the Niskaru Lord, emerging from, if I read correctly, the mountain itself. That's the first stage of the spell. Let's not find out what happens after that. A Niskaru Lord is an immense being of pure chaos. Kamazondu's nature is that of great cunning and persuasion. Be wary and believe nothing it says. It worked before when Aegon fought Farlong. Let's hope that it works for you. They both suffered and died because the knowledge and memory of our order was squandered and lost. I will not forget that. But I can be content that their deaths were not in vain either. In the end, he but dreamed a nightmare. But Beeson might make the nightmare real. He plans to free a Niskaru Lord, and we hope to stop him. Mitharu help us. Yes, it lies south along the Hollowlands. I will be there with reinforcements. Make yourself ready. This will be a trial like none you've known. To the mountain then, and our final task.
You're part of that madness on the ledge below. On with you. I'll have no part in that. It possesses a certain remarkable beauty that is hard to appreciate with a wounded leg. Once in a while, some fool comes to plead on bended knee for lessons. Bah! If you don't know, there's no use telling it. Off in the southeast among the hills, overrun now with those spear-hefting overgrown cats. I'd keep my distance if I were you. An old man who's had his fill of the world. If you must, come back when you're done with whatever it is you've got brewing down there.
That day, the carver woke to find his touch run dry, the wellspring of his power dead as dust at the source. He heard then the first whisper, the first mention, mortals.
Here, you see, it all falls beautifully into place. The kobolds will come for their totem. And this new Ragnar will see a challenge that he cannot ignore, and a battle he'll think he can win. Of course, neither he nor any will survive it. To reclaim it, the kobolds will fight to the death. To a Jotun, it's no more than a banner. But a banner planted in their ground is a challenge, and Jotun are proud creatures. It seems the old Ragnar had some wisdom in that slab of a skull, kept a shrewd balance between infighting and angering his neighbors. But now he's dead, and the new Ragnar fancies the warpath. But that won't be good for anyone. We'll never know if the mine collapsed because of the kobolds, or if the kobolds got in because of the collapse. Either way, it's theirs now. Well, there may be a victor for a moment or two, but in the end, I will be the only winner you will see. Meet me on the height above 2 paths. You wanted war? You got it! A sight to behold! What are you doing? All have lost, but we have won thanks to my genius and your hard work. You have earned your reward. Have this. As for me, I have earned a trip to Odessa and, surely, Centurion rank. Soon to be a memory. It's back to Odessa for me and my fine auxiliaries here. I've single-handedly squashed a Jotun warpath. Of course, that single hand was you, but why quibble? They'll have to grant me Centurion rank now. If you haven't already, you should visit our grand city. It's a sight to behold. Normally, I'd advise you to take a leap off that ledge, but at the moment, I find myself in need of aid. Don't think you'll get anything out of it, though. I certainly won't teach you anything. Damned kobolds is what? Poison spear to my leg and it's begun to fester. There are things for it, easy to gather myself. If I could walk. Foul stuff. I never touch it. The natural course of healing's best, if you ask me. Ironfast? What could they possibly... All right, just help me with this leg. Ugh. I'll need Spidersack Ichor, Fenrak from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's cookpot. Can you get me those? Before the gnomes opened up that damned mine, wasn't a single one in Menethir. Meddlers, that's what they are. Always think they know best, but they never do. Believe me. No lessons, no precious pearls of wisdom. I've left that all behind. You have my thanks. Now go. Ah, some Spidersack Ichor, Fenrak leaf from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's pot. How many times must I repeat it? About bloody time. Spider gland for the festering, fenrack for the pain, and stugris to keep my strength up. You've done me a good turn, stranger. I live a hermit's life, so have little to give. I hope you'll take this as thanks. You'll get nothing else. What a great and austere beauty it holds. A beauty best enjoyed alone. Once in a while, some fool comes to plead on bended knee for lessons. Bah! If you don't know, there's no use telling it. Oh, that. Well, tell me, what's going on that old Braskin can't handle on his own? I still know him. I came to Menethir because of him, the only man in all Amalur I respect. He's dead? Then he never mended that sword, and that green apprentice is left alone half-trained. Damn it all, I swore I'd never... But the blade and the apprentice... Apprentice and the blade! It won't do. I must go. Bring me a compound known as Master's Tallow from Hervar's Dorsil, and the sword is yours. I'll be at Ironfast waiting. A rare wax of golden hue, with some remarkable properties regarding metal and flame. It will be needed to mend that sword. He would visit me some nights, and we'd talk of stars and old ways and the blacksmith's craft. He alone never once asked me why I live apart.
fight us here, not...
You have the Master's Tallow? Then let's begin. Lords of Iron and Fire, it's good to be back at the Forge. Brace yourselves now.
Rotting hell, the sun is fierce today.
Behold, Haldebeer's blade, strong and whole. As you made this possible, I insist that you take it. A hero deserves a hero's sword. Now, if you're done gawking, I have a clumsy oaf of an apprentice to train. The boy's green as a new blade of grass, but he's got an eye and an arm. He'll learn yet. I swore I'd never take another student, but for you and Gavroche here, I'd make an exception. My work here won't keep me from it. I shall never tire of its open sky or those great red rocks.
Greetings.
If you're traveling, you'll need supplies.
Worse than sand inside your armor.
this is what I like. Something you can fix with a sword and shield. Precious few advance in rank so quickly. Then again, things don't often go normal around you, do they? So that's the fabled hammer. How does it gleam like that? What odd markings it has. I'd been yearning to return to the field of battle. And I feel that I owe Gwyn this, at the very least. A warsworn has to be a stalwart soldier. But more than that, you've got to show that fact to the world. There's no doubt he's up there, and no knowing what he's capable of when cornered. But we do have the element of surprise. Oathblade, if you thought I'd let you go in there yourself and have all that fun without me, you were sorely mistaken. For now.
We will meet at Cloudcrest Mountain. Look, Beeson has carved his own way into the mountain, and that will be our route as well. Let's go. Yes, the crown will emerge at Cloudcrest's summit. That's where Beeson will be.
Oathblade. Forsworn.
We'll hold them back. You go on. Do what you came to do. I said we'll hold them off. You go on. Do what you must do. Go. Use the hammer. Destroy Kamazandu's crown. And defeat Beeson.
What have you done, you fool? Do you think this war can be won without me? Mortals cannot triumph against such malice. We've fought this war for more than 10 years. We could fight 100 more, and for nothing. I could have ended it. I could have promised 1,000 years of peace and protection under my rule. With Kamazandu at my side, and a Nискaro host at my command, who could threaten us? No one. I am sick of the doctrines of Rathir. Power must be hidden, guide from an unseen source. Cowards. Great power must reveal itself and stretch its wings. Follow me? I would have freed it, of course, and Farlong was sure the web of spells would... I could feel its fire coursing in my veins. We were nearly one voice, one mind. What difference who follows whom? But you have severed the bond. It would have given me power, the power to save us all. And you took that from me. For that, you will pay.
It seems I won't be stretching my limbs so soon. It is a shame that the mage proved so feeble an instrument of my will. Would that I had a better, stronger one. That is true. What a shame. I was nearly free after so long. But the seal is cracked, and my mind may now wander. Imagine what I could do if I had an instrument through which to act as well. Your glory is bright, little one, but in less than a blink of my eye, your candle will flicker and fade. A whiff of smoke, then nothing. But I will be here still. I will chuckle when you die. And when I am freed, I will laugh until the seas boil and the mountains shake. I will wait, but not for long. Begone, speck of dust! Begone, speck of dust!
I saw it all from over there. You were like one of the first sworn in living flesh. When you're ready, head back to the Hall of the First Sworn. Don't keep us waiting there, all right? Kamazondu is restored to its prison, thanks to you. I don't know how you forged it or what magic it contains, but I do know it worked. I saw it for myself. Dead, right over there. Aegon himself would have been impressed. Yes, to the hall. Just come, you'll see. Hall of the First Sworn. Don't delay.
Enter. Stand before the swarm. You have done great deeds. You have shined brightly as Caerwyn's blade and cleared the dust from our most glorious past. You have felled foes beyond imagining, and stayed true and sworn to war. Therefore, I proudly bestow upon you the high and treasured rank of True Sworn. With one hand, we remain sworn to war in the noble mercenary's creed. With the other, we shall keep watch and strike at every Nискaro threat.
Rattlesnake was a vain and ugly creature. He crawled in dark places and avoided the other desert animals. He was lonely but refused to act like it. One day, while sitting under a rock and wishing to be happy, he saw a desert runner sprinting past. "Wait," it called to the bird. "I have a favor to ask of you."